Previously on Jeep Roscoe.
We're at Central Lookout on the Stirling Range Drive, and it's quite spectacular. Makes it look like it's bleeding. Now we're on the walkway. Look at these views. Nice bit of tea and scones on the way home. And of course with the name of Magali, which literally means Wales. How could I not go there? So effectively I would have done the knowledgable in 2 days. Quite famous. They really got some nice beaches. Welcome to Jeep Roscoe. Today we're in the Porongurup mountain range, just south of the Stirling Ranges in Western Australia. So we're in the Porongurup Ranges and staying at the Porongurup Range Tourist Park, which is a caravan / camping site, and I've got to say it's one of the nicest ones I've been in. The amenities here, the laundry, the bathrooms, the kitchen, the showers, everything are immaculate, like really nice. Laundry is, the washing machine is $4 on a system, and $2 to dry, or there's plenty of line space for you to hang your clothes up outside. The showers, are absolutely immaculate, like absolutely immaculate. I'll try and film a little bit in there later if nobody's in there, but very nice. And the kitchen's very nice as well. There's a nice indoor sitting area, TV, board games, etc. Big grassy areas for you to camp on. There's Delilah currently charging up the solar panels with the Lithium Power Station. Got my awning up, or fly sheet from Austrail, the hiker fly, which is the smaller one, which I think 9 times out of 10 I'm going to be using, to be honest with you, because the big one's a bit of a nightmare to do on your own in the wind, and it's been quite windy. So I'm just catching up with a little bit of video editing. Climbed Castle Rock this morning, so yeah, we might do a little review in a minute on the Lithium Power Station, which is the 500p from iTech World, who are based in WA, and I'm hoping to go up and visit them. They're in Burwood, just outside of Perth, when I'm around that neck of the woods. So I'll just give you a quick little squiz of the area. So as I say, I'm just doing some video editing as my swag. Swag's going quite well, by the way. I had a wonderful night's sleep last night. There's the King swag from 4-wheel drive Supercenter. Despite its drawbacks, the side sagging in, it's still a decent swag, and I'm sleeping very well on it. But I do like a hard bed, so there's that. So yeah, these are the big spaces. So this is one space that I've got, and it extends from that, and there's another fence the other side of Delilah. So it's a huge space, and there's a little stream behind, which I was a bit worried about mosquitoes, but so far so good. Right next door you can see the house. I think it looks like a house over the fence. That's actually a pub, so you can walk to the pub. There's caravan sites and powered sites over there. And you can see off in the distance up there, those are the Porongurup Ranges. The main road is the road is just outside there. It's only 70 kilometers an hour, so there's nothing, no major dramas. There's nothing, no road trains or anything going past. Oh, I've just noticed my solar panels now in the shade, so I better move those. But they've been going good guns. They've been pumping out about 135 watts. I don't know what that is in volts or amp hours, I'm afraid. The meeting block is just over that little bridge over the stream there. They've also got static caravans, cabins that you can rent. A couple of flies around. Yeah, you can't see the meeting block from here. Just made a cup of tea in my Jetboil again. Dogs are allowed in the park. There's a little seating area there that I haven't really used, but I'm welcome to use if I want. Yeah, so all in all, a very pleasant space. And the owner has a Land Rover Defender, which is my first love of vehicle. But that's another story. So yes, a lovely little spot. There's a link below in the comments. If you're in this neck of the woods, I'd highly recommend it. Very nice place. So the laptop is just charging off my Lithium Power Station, and when I finish my cup of tea, I'll get back on it. I've almost finished editing a video, so I'll get that out, or set it to render at least, and then we'll go and review the power station itself. The good thing about a Jetboil is it really doesn't take very long to heat up for a cup of tea. You can see this colour panel here. This turns orange when it reaches boiling point. So it's a nice easy way to tell when your water's done. And it all packs up to inside itself. Good, simple, easy way to make a cup of tea in the morning, rather than getting the gas bottle off the roof. And for breakfast today we're having pork crackling. Healthy. Sounds like it's getting ready to boil, doesn't it? If you're wondering why I've got a MSR gas canister on it instead of jet fuel, it was sold out everywhere. There we are, like, just over a minute. Okay, so we're just going to do a quick review of the solar blanket and lithium power cell station, whatever you want to call it. Both from both from iTech World in Western Australia. Now the sun is quite low in the sky, so I've had to move the solar panel out into the sun. The shadow keeps creeping over it. I'm currently only using the 5-meter rope cable. I have got a 10-meter one, but they say where possible to keep it short, because anything with electricity, it's best not to transport it very far. Now if we look at the cell itself, the 500p is an input of around, well, it's fluctuating between 40 and 80 watts charging at the moment. It's also plugged into the fridge via the 12-volt cigarette lighter. You can see the fridge, that's the my memory's gone today, I tell you. the fridge is the Brass Monkey's 45 litre, and that's drawing out 0 watts at the moment, but that's because it's idling. It's going up to 1, so it's probably averaging 1 watt when it's idling, and when it kicks in it goes up to about 35 watts. Input, yeah, as you say, it's fluctuating quite a bit, probably because it keeps going into the shade, so I'll try and pull it out a bit more. And you can see straight away there it's gone up to 100, whoops, back down, 105 watts, 109. So yeah, it's fluctuating quite a bit actually. It's probably because the sun isn't in the sky as high as it should be. Earlier on today, about midday-ish, it was drawing about 150. There we are, it's up to 100 now. I think because it's a monocrystalline solar panel, if some of it starts to go into the shade, it affects the whole thing. But you can see now it's all in the sun, it's averaging about 111. The battery is currently up to 62%. I've been using it all day to charge the laptop. The annoying thing with this is, whilst it's charging, you can't charge anything via the AC out. You can do it on the USBs, you can do it on the cigarette lighter, but you can't do it on the AC out. And what I mean by that is the plug, like the wall plug you would have. So the laptop, my MacBook Air, will only charge from that one. I can get an adapter to go into the cigarette lighter, or I'm due to upgrade my MacBook anyway, and if I get one which has got a lightning, whatever connection it is, a USB-C, I can just plug it into the USB-C and problem solved. But that is a bit of a bugbear, is whilst it's charging, be that on AC, your wall plug via the alternator, or via the solar blanket, you cannot charge something out of the AC out. A little bit annoying, but I've worked around it a bit. So what I've done, for example, earlier is I charged this up to 80%, and then I took it off charge to charge my laptop, my phone, and a couple of other things whilst it was rendering. So that's why it's gone down to 62 now. So we'll just leave it now to charge. I'll have to keep an eye on it to keep moving it into the sun, because the sun is moving and the shadows are creeping larger and larger. But all in all, I've been pretty happy with this setup, and meant that I didn't have to invest in a dual battery system for the car. This was probably around the same price. I mean, this and the solar blanket was probably the same price as a traditional dual battery setup. This one, however, you know, I could pick up at one finger. You can take it with you, you can use it in your house, so it's a lot more adaptable. And you know, lithium is the future in my opinion. And yeah, it's worked out quite well. The solar blanket I've been very impressed with. It's a 200 watt solar blanket, and on average it charges this quicker than when I plug it into the wall. So I think when you plug it into the wall it's limited, so it only draws about 68 watts, whereas the solar blanket will regularly pump over 100. So you can see the fridge has just kicked in now, and it's gone up to 30, 37, 31, and then once it's finished that cooling cycle, it'll idle back down to 1 or 2 watts. And another thing I will say about the 500p is that once it's dropped below 50%, it does start to lose its charge a lot quicker. I will be asking the people at iTech Worlds about this if I go on a visit, to see if there's a workaround, or if that's something that just happens with lithium batteries. I also want to know what DC out bits are for. I have no idea what I can use those for. But yeah, all in all, quite impressed. The charging cable that comes with the Brass Monkey's fridge is quite a long one, as you can see. We're going all the way in and into the back of the fridge. If we just have a look at the fridge quickly. Just tried to upload a video for you guys. So, yeah, if we can see that, the fridge is currently at 3 degrees and the freezer section at -8. Now, this little battery symbol in the middle means that I bought an internal battery that you can take out and put in. That itself is charging as it's powering the fridge. So that's an added draw on the 500p. But it's getting a constant 12.2 volts from the 500p, so that's good. Now this Brass Monkey's fridge, you can connect it up via Bluetooth to an app on your phone. You can see the Bluetooth symbol just there. So I control this fridge from my app because it's much easier than working these. I've already forgotten how to work this panel to switch between each side, but yeah, the app is very easy to use, very easy. Right, what else haven't I shown you guys? As I say, it's quite a big fridge with the setup that I've got here. Now, this actually slides, but I don't really use it because as it is at the moment inside the car, inside the back of the Goliath, I can open the door almost fully. It's not, I can't open it fully, but I can almost open it fully. With the slider only comes out to about here, which means the door can only open from there to there. So henceforth that is pretty redundant, which kind of reinforces my idea that I should have just got 2 of these drawers, because I lose a bit of height there for the chopping board I don't use and the slide I don't use. So I might get rid of that, get another one of these and stack the 2 of them on top of each other, have the fridge just resting on the false floor, which would mean it's a lot easier to get in and out of the fridge. You do lose that little bit of storage, because that means that on this side the 2 drawers will be this side, and then with the boxes they'll probably be the same height as the fridge is now. Still got a little bit of visibility at the back window, but not ideal, and you lose a bit of extra vision out of that side. I did initially try that cargo net. I had cushion pillows behind there, completely blocking the window, and that just wasn't workable for me, so I took them out. I think I might get rid of the cargo netting completely, to be honest, because I don't really use it. I mean, the only precaution it's there for is to stop things smashing into the window, but nothing's, everything's tied down usually, so it's all good. The front runner roof rack, you can see inside here that one of the reasons it can support so much weight is you have to drill through the fiberglass roof. of the Jeep. Then it goes onto these rails, and the rails themselves clamp directly onto the roll cage, which is what gives it its strength. So this distributes it onto the roll cage, so it can hold a lot more than most roof racks that you find for Jeeps. The Rhino rack also does a similar kind of backbone system. It can't quite hold as much as the front runner, and it doesn't go the full length of the roof. Now, for me, an aesthetic look, I just didn't like it at all. These ones, these actual clamps are supposed to clamp onto the roll cage itself, and then the cover is supposed to zip over it. The mechanics that did it for me put it straight on like this because, well, you have to ask them why. But yeah, it works well. The extendable ladder that I bought fits between the window and the roll bar really well, and all I have to do then is just secure it to the roll bar. I've got these foam pads which I use underneath my swag if it's looking a little bit bumpy, and when I'm not using them I leave them there, so it's an extra little pad in against the window. On the driver's side, you very rarely, if ever, look out at this window, so that doesn't bother me at all, and I wasn't worried about losing vision out of this window at all. But this side you do quite regularly need. The only alternative, I guess, would be to mount cameras onto the back of Delilah, which then feed into something at the top that I can see out of. I'll have a little think about that. You can see that this space here is now in the sun, so I'm going to move the solar blanket here rather than all the way over there. Alright, and I'll get back to video editing. After really abusing the Lithium Power Station yesterday, it is completely dead this morning. Yesterday I had everything plugged into it, and as I said, the one annoying thing about not being able to plug it into the solar panels as well as the AC out is a bit of an issue, but it's done well overall. But yeah, completely dead this morning, so we'll get the solar panels onto it now. Let's see how the fridge is done. Look, it must have only just failed because the internal battery of the fridge is only down 1, and it's actually colder than it should be. So yeah, the combo is doing well. There we are. We got some power going into it. Only 21 watts at the moment, but as the sun comes up, that'll get bigger. The sun's quite low in the sky at the moment. So, what time is it? It's now 6:15 AM, and we'll see how long it takes. So this is the camp TV room in the amenity block. You got TV, you got DVDs, books, board games, etc., and a wood burner. And then this is the kitchen. You got large fridge, freezer, microwaves, cooker, sink, and everything you can need really. You got bacon on a go, bacon buddy, another cup of tea. There's number 3 for today. And yeah, and it's all under a veranda outside. There's a seating area, and out the back is a nice barbecue area. And that's where the laundry is then. just opposite the barbecue. And there's little Christmas decorations, so it's coming up to Christmas. And elf on a shelf. You non-Australian viewers, bacon comes in various sizes in Australia. So this is hand cut, I think. Short cut bacon, rindless. They don't really do the back bacon like we have in the UK, and they don't really do streaky bacon either. It's a bit weird, but oh well. Bacon is bacon. This is the ablution block. You got the men's part anyway. You got toilets. It's like a toilet disabled shower combo. And the showers, see, they are immaculate. You've got towel rail holders, a little bench, and then best of all, you got this little platform you can take off to stand on, so you got something dry to stand on. Sinks, and it is absolutely spotless. Drinking water is from this big rainwater tank. The ladies' ablutions are on the other side, and that's the barbecue area. Lovely barbecue seating area, just on the cover. And you get laundry in here. You get 2 washing machines, a dryer, sinks, laundry caddies, iron board. Yeah, really quite impressed. That's the gardens, these are the powered sites out here. And we've also got washing lines here. So we're just doing these kind of back roads that circle around the Porongurup Ranges. It's quite a pleasant drive, it's all unsealed. There's quite a few potholes in parts, so you got to watch where you're going. But you do get views of the back end of the southern side of the Porongurups. There's a couple of houses dotted around here, so people live on these off these roads. And there's also a couple of wineries. I'm not going to stop at any because, well, I'm not drinking at the moment, so I don't see the point. A lot of farmland here, just backing on to the national park. It would be a nice, quiet spot to live. I'll say that much. It's the local MP, almost coming straight out of the junction. Every now and again, there's a large pothole, and with the dappled effect of the shading of the trees, it's hard to pick them out.
Take the next right onto Woodlands Road.
Looks like we're back on the sealed road here anyway. You can hear my brakes every time that I brake squeak at the moment. It is doing my head in, and I will try to get them looked at when I get back to civilization. Okay, so we're heading down to Albany today. It's a very short drive, should be about 40 minutes tops. And yeah, when we're in the southwest corner here of Western Australia, the travel time between each destination is going to be a lot shorter because there's a lot more things, a lot more towns, a lot more settlements, a lot more things to see along the way. Which will probably mean that there's a lot more time to kind of review products, tell you a little bit more about the trip rather than drive. Like early doors across the knowledgeable, you know, it was mostly driving, and as we get into this and we stop more regularly, then we'll be able to slow down a little bit and review stuff a lot more as we go. So yeah, about 40 minutes down to Albany today. A little bit sad to be leaving the Porongurups. It's a very beautiful area. The campsite was absolutely great, you know, I really enjoyed it. Some of the walks around here, Castle Rock and the Devil's Slide and Angles Peak, I think it was called. Absolutely fantastic. You know, a little bit smaller than the Stirling Ranges, but in no means least in any other way. Highly recommend it. As I say, it's only a short drive down to Albany, so even if you're staying in Albany, I'd recommend a day trip up to the Porongurups. Maybe just come up to Castle Rock and go back down. Yeah, you won't be disappointed. Well worth it. Absolutely beautiful. So for those that don't know where Albany is on the south coast of Western Australia. It's one of the oldest settlements in Western Australia. It's an old whaling town. I believe, although I'll have to do my research when I get there, I believe it was originally settled by the British because they were worried that the French were snooping around this corner of Australia and wanted to put a stamp on it and say, no, we're here, you know. So anyway, I've been to Albany quite a few times in the past. The first time I went there, I only saw kind of like the harbour side, the old whaling side, and went to a nightclub which had a plaque above it proudly displaying that it was the worst nightclub in the world. Now, I doubt the person that reviewed it ever went to Aberdare in South Wales, because Judge's nightclub is far worse. But you know, what I'm saying is, my first trip to Albany, I only saw the harbour side and the worst nightclub in the world, and I loved it. I thought it was great. The second time I went, I took my cousins down there on a trip from Bunbury, and discovered there was a whole new side of it with the back beaches and the blowholes and the wind farms, etc. And was absolutely blown away by it. Now I've been reading up that there's a lot of walks and mountain bike trails to do around Albany, so I'll be trying to check some of those out as we go. Now it's a little bit bumpy here, but you'll be pleased to hear that I will be deciding on a new phone holder, a little bit more stable than this one, I hope, over the next couple of days. I've been doing some research, he says, on Google and YouTube, you know, not like the anti-vaccine research. I've been watching some reviews, then, shall I say, of phone holders for off-roading, and it looks like it's between the quad holder and the arm, which is an American-made one. I'm leaning towards the arm one at the moment, but the quad lock is spamming my social media at the moment, so I'm getting a lot of exposure to that one. So yeah, we'll decide over the next couple of days, and I'll do a little video, an unboxing, what I do when I get it. I'm going to have to get it delivered to my cousins in Bunbury, and hopefully it'll be there when I'm there. Unless, of course, I can find somewhere in Perth that sells these things when I'm through there. Maybe Bustleton or maybe Bunbury. These are two other main settlements in the southwest. So yeah, we'll see what we can do, and when I get it, hopefully I won't be bouncing around as much as I am now. Alright, so as I say, only a short drive, so I'll switch off for now and check back in when we get to Albany, unless we see anything along the way that's worth pointing out. Alright, let's get into it.
Next week on Jeep Roscoe.
This is the gap. I've just stopped here, and all of a sudden I just feel absolutely knackered. I gotta say, it's in danger of overtaking Esperance as my favourite spot so far.